Hey, She Army. It is Wisdom Wednesday, and I am excited. I'm in my new place. Finally starting to settle a little bit. As you can see, my bookcase is still um, still not together. We're going to do some major unpacking this weekend so I can start to get a little bit more settled in my house. But happy to be here from my new location. I have been having some internet troubles, so hopefully you guys can see and hear me okay. Still trying to work with the internet service provider to get this figured out. But anywho, it's Wisdom Wednesday, and today I want to talk to you guys about two really important questions, probably questions that you've or thought about, especially if you're a new entrepreneur, and that is, what problem do you solve and for whom? So I talked last week about having a well packaged offer, but I wanted to reiterate the importance of ensuring that you have your target market nailed down before you just go off and creating products and hoping someone will buy them soon. And by the way, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the chat, as the live is progressing, and I'll make sure to save some time at the end to answer your questions as it relates to identifying the problem that you solve and for whom. So, everyone's not your ideal client, and that's something that all entrepreneurs have to come to terms with sooner or later. We first start out, we kind of use the spaghetti method. We throw things at the wall, see what sticks. And I think some people are actually afraid of narrowing down their audience. They're afraid of literally running out of customers, but that actually is the fastest way to really be able to skyrocket your sales and get your business off on the right footing. Because if you're marketing to the wrong people and you are getting clients, most likely you're not going to be able to retain those clients, and or you're probably not going to enjoy working with them because you don't have your target market nailed down. So niching down is always key to be able to have a successful launch in your business. So I think we underestimate our self-worth, we underestimate our value, our talents, our skill set, and what we really bring to the table. We think no one's going to listen, no one's going to buy, no one will want what we have to offer. So it's not that no one will, the right people will definitely want what you have to offer. Your tribe will definitely want to invest in you. You just have to be able to speak to them, right? Meet them where they are. And that's one of the things that we work on in the She Collective is how to find your target market, and I'm going to go over actually three best practices when it comes to figuring out that, what's the problem that you're solving for and to find your target market. So, the first thing you really need to do is figure out what challenges your target market is having, right? So, the people that you think you're going to be working with, that you're going to be serving, what are their challenges? And list those challenges out. Why are they challenges? Like, why is your target market struggling with those things? Then once you've identified the problem, the next thing that you want to do is figure out, do you have a product or service that is going to solve that problem? And does it actually help people? Does it actually help the people in your target market achieve some type of result, some type of transformation? And if it doesn't, then it's time to make adjustments to your product suite, right? You really want to, like, okay, so I know my target market is struggling with X, so I'm going to make Y product or service that's going to help them, right? So, for example, if you know that your target market is struggling with getting clients, for example, um, maybe you want to, make a short guide on how to market yourself on Facebook or how to market yourself on Instagram. Um, those would be um, those would be ways to, to basically speak to your target market to get them to or help them to be able to gain clients online if they're struggling with getting clients online, right? So let's use online so that Facebook and Instagram, we can be specific to that challenge. Now, Facebook and Instagram actually works for folks who are also brick and mortar. Like I have my brick and mortar businesses as well. So Be very specific about who it is that you're trying to help, and what's the problem that you're trying to solve. And then, so after you figure out what the problem is, now you want to figure out where your target market hangs out. What social media platforms are they on? Who do they follow? What are they reading? Where do they shop? How old are they? What's their lifestyle like? Like, you really want to get to know these things. You want to get to know that so you can build out your customer avatar. Like, who is your ideal client? What's his or her name? And you should have a very good profile pic of what your target customer looks like. And then after you do that, you want to start talking to them, right? Once you identify who they are, and then what problem you solve, then you want to start talking to them. You want to speak their language, so to speak. So once you start speaking their language, you will start to see your dream clients walking through the door. Why? Because you have identified a problem you've made a product or service that actually is going to solve a problem that they're having, right? And then you're speaking directly to them. You are using their language. So to recap, in order to figure out what problem you're solving and for whom, the first thing you want to do is identify the challenges that you feel your target market has. The second, determine what's the one thing you have or know that could help them right now. The third is build your customer avatar based upon those habits. For example, where they live, where they shop, where they eat, what they purchase. And this is definitely an important exercise, important topic. But the better that you get at this, the more specific that you can get about your target market and the problem that you solve, the better your results will be. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for questions. If you guys have questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. If you've had trouble with narrowing down your target market, definitely pop your questions in the chat. The description, and I'll definitely, if you're watching this now, you're watching later, feel free to also just post your questions and I'll definitely get back to you. Or you can DM me your questions. You can DM me directly at Crystal Vernay on Facebook and Instagram, as well as Twitter, or you can DM Simply She. Facebook, it's at I Simply She. And then on Instagram, I'm at I_simply_she. So feel free to DM me your questions. And I will answer about target market and not what yours is and niching down. A lot of times we're just, it's really a mind thing. We're afraid to niche down. We're like, oh my gosh, if I get too specific, there's not going to be enough people. Well, again, just think about it this way. If you're constantly talking to people who aren't interested in what you have to offer, it can make it seem like no one is interested. But when in fact, you haven't even been talking to the people who would have been interested in what you had to offer in the first place. So, all right, guys. That's really it for Tism Wednesday. So if you have more questions and you want more info about how this all works and how you can narrow down your target market, how you can identify what problem you're solving for whom, definitely go ahead and book a 30-minute brand clarity call with me. The description to do that, or the link to do that, is in the description of this live. And I'd be more than happy to help you out. So that's it. Take care, guys. And remember, you too can conquer if you slay hard every day.